Let us wander into Singapore, a garden city where steel meets sky and silence blooms in green. Here, glass towers rise beside banyan trees. Cloud forests breathe under domes of light. Temples hum with prayer. Mosques glint with gold. Nature walks through the city in soft footsteps. We will walk through sky gardens, sail beneath heritage bridges, and feel the rhythm of old and new in perfect balance. Are you ready to journey through a city that sings in leaves, in lights, in languages? This is Singapore, compact, curious, and ever alive. Gardens by the Bay. Gardens by the Bay blooms like a vision from the future. Towering super trees rise above the Marina Bay skyline, their canopies laced with light and life. Beneath them, walkways weave through a world of lush gardens and glass conservatories. The Flower Dome holds spring in its heart year-round, while the cloud forest whispers with mist and ferns hiding a waterfall that spills from the sky. At night, the super trees awaken glowing in a symphony of colors during the Garden Rhapsody light show. This isn't just a garden, it's a living canvas where technology and nature dream together. Orchids bloom under steel, and stories unfold beneath solar leaves. Gardens by the Bay is where the earth breathes beneath glass, where imagination finds roots, and where every visitor, no matter where they're from, leaves feeling just a little more enchanted. Singapore Botanic Gardens. The Singapore Botanic Gardens is a timeless sanctuary in the heart of the city. Established in 1859, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site where nature heritage and quietude meet. Wander through palm-lined avenues, past tranquil lakes and open lawns. The National Orchid Garden bursts with color over 1,000 species, and hybrids bloom here in royal purples, fiery reds, and delicate whites. The Rainforest Trail hums with life, while the Learning Forest invites curiosity with elevated walkways and ancient trees. Picnics happen under swaying frangipanis. Children laugh by the Symphony Lake as music drifts across the water. More than a garden, this is a living memory of Singapore's colonial roots of botany, of culture, of growth. It's a place to slow down, to breathe deeply, to let green wrap gently around your thoughts. McRitchie Reservoir. McRitchie Reservoir is a place where the wild still speaks. Tucked into central Singapore, this vast stretch of forest and water offers peace in-motion trails that wind, boardwalks that hover, and trees that whisper above still waters. The treetop walk is its crown, a suspension bridge that stretches through the canopy, letting you walk among birds and breeze. Below, long-tailed macaques chatter in the undergrowth and monitor lizards bask in the sun. The reservoir glimmers like a mirror reflecting clouds and kayakers alike. Runners and hikers share paths with butterflies and dragonflies. McRitchie isn't just an escape. It's a reminder that the wild doesn't have to be distant, that silence can sing, that nature, even in a city, still has a heartbeat. Marina Bay Sands. Marina Bay Sands rises like a futuristic dream above Singapore's skyline, 3 gleaming towers crowned by a sky park that seems to float in the clouds. It's not just a hotel, it's a symbol. From the infinity pool on the 57th floor, the city stretches in every direction, glass, water, and green in harmony. Below, the Art Science Museum opens like a lotus, while the shops buzz with light and luxury. At night, the building glows like a beacon. The Spectra Light and Water Show dazzles along the bay as music and lasers dance on the water. Marina Bay Sands is where architecture meets imagination, where scale meets elegance. It is Singapore's most iconic stage, not only of hospitality, but of ambition, of beauty, of possibility. Singapore Flyer. The Singapore Flyer turns slowly above the bay, one of the world's largest observation wheels, offering a view not just of Singapore, but of space, stillness, and sky. Step into a glass capsule and rise above the city. Below, the streets shrink, the gardens become patterns, and ships in the harbor drift like paper boats. On clear days, Malaysia and Indonesia shimmer at the horizon. Each full rotation takes around 30 minutes, enough time to breathe, to wonder, to marvel. At night, the city lights unfold like constellations. The Flyer isn't a thrill ride. It's a moment suspended, a quiet flight above motion, a chance to see the city not in motion, but in balance. Jewel Changi Airport. Jewel Changi Airport is where arrival becomes wonder. In the heart of one of the world's best airports stands a dome of steel and glass, a futuristic forest wrapped around the world's tallest indoor waterfall. The rain vortex falls like a ribbon from the oculus above, glowing by day, glowing brighter by night. Around it, the Shiseido Forest Valley unfolds terraces of trees, mists, and hidden paths. Jewel isn't just for travelers, it's a destination in itself, where you can shop, dine, rest, or simply wander. Glass bridges, mirrored mazes, canopy gardens, every corner surprises. Jewel is nature reimagined, its flight redefined. A place where the journey doesn't begin or end, it simply continues beautifully. Helix Bridge. Twisting like strands of DNA, the Helix Bridge is a marvel of design and symbolism. A pedestrian bridge that links Marina Center to Marina South, science to spirit, people to place. By day, its stainless steel coils shimmer under the sun. By night, the structure glows with soft purple light, reflecting off the water like a luminous sculpture. Each step across is accompanied by views, the Art Science Museum, the Flyer, the city skyline, all framed by spiraling steel. Along the way, viewing platforms offer moments to pause, to reflect, to capture. Inspired by the double helix of life, the bridge represents growth, renewal, and connection. It's not just a way to cross, it's a place to slow down, to see more clearly, to walk through beauty. Chinatown. Chinatown is a vibrant tapestry of old and new, where lanterns hang above buzzing streets, temples rise beside skyscrapers, and flavors float through the air like history retold. Walk along Pagoda Street and hear a symphony of languages. Enter Sri Mariamman Temple, Singapore's oldest Hindu temple, or light a candle at the peaceful Buddha Tooth Relic Temple. Markets overflow with souvenirs, herbs, and golden pastries. Hawker stalls serve up chili crab, Hainanese chicken rice, and smoky satay under red banners. The past speaks from shophouses painted in bold, time-worn colors. But Chinatown isn't frozen in time. It's alive, modern cafes, tucked into alleys, street art blooming on walls, bars pulsing after dark, a crossroads of cultures and commerce. To wander here is to trace Singapore's soul, one rooted in migration, resilience, and community. Pulau Ubin. Pulau Ubin is Singapore's window into the past, a rustic island where life still hums like it did in the 1960s. Wooden houses rest on stilts. Gravel roads curve through forests and mangroves. Time slows. Take a bumboat from Changi Point and arrive in minutes yet decades away. Rent a bike and ride beneath towering trees, past lotus ponds and durian orchards. Monitor lizards laze in the sun. Hornbills dart through the canopy. Czech Jawa Wetlands lies at the island's edge, a rare ecosystem where coral rubble, seagrass lagoons and mangroves coexist. Walk the boardwalk, watch crabs dance and see eagles soar. Pulau Ubin isn't polished. It's raw, real, and peaceful. A place where silence speaks, and nature writes her story across land, water, and wind. National Gallery, Singapore. Housed within two historic buildings, the former Supreme Court and City Hall, the National Gallery, Singapore, is where art, architecture, and memory converge. Inside, light spills through skylights and wraps around grand columns and echoing halls. The galleries stretch wide, holding Southeast Asia's largest collection of modern art, bold brushstrokes, vivid forms, stories, both personal and national. Wander from room to room, from local legends like Georgette Chen to daring contemporary voices. Outside the windows, you glimpse the Padang Marina Bay, the city always in conversation with its past. But this gallery is more than art. It's emotion. It's questions. It's the way a painting makes you stop and feel something stir. A space that invites reflection, not only on what we see, but on who we are. Art Science Museum. Shaped like a lotus blooming beside Marina Bay, the Art Science Museum is where imagination takes form. It's a space where creativity meets curiosity and science dances with wonder. Inside, light bends, water flows, and pixels shimmer across walls. Future World invites you to step into interactive landscapes, touch-activated stars, digital flowers, and mirrored infinity. Other exhibitions blend technology with storytelling, showcasing everything from space exploration to ancient civilizations. Here, art isn't just seen, it's felt, played with, walked through. Children giggle, adults pause in awe, and every visitor becomes part of the story. The building itself, with fingers reaching skyward, seems to promise something eternal, that beauty and discovery belong together. Esplanade, theatres on the bay. With its spiky domes resembling durians, the Esplanade is Singapore's beloved performing arts centre where architecture dares and art breathes. Inside, concert halls and black box theatres echo with orchestras, plays, and international acts. Outside, the waterfront promenade invites dancers, poets, and street musicians to perform under stars and city lights. By day, the glass reflects Marina Bay's shimmer. By night, it glows a lantern on the edge of the water. Festivals bloom here, from ballet to busking jazz to Jathaswaram. Whether you're watching a world-class opera or simply lounging by the river, the Esplanade welcomes all. It's not just a venue, it's a gathering of souls, sounds, and stories. Marina Barrage. Marina Barrage is where sustainability meets serenity, a dam, a park, a symbol of Singapore's water resilience, and a favorite weekend escape. Built across the Marina Channel, it holds back fresh water while creating a giant rooftop lawn with panoramic views of the skyline. Families picnic, couples fly kites, joggers circle the green as the breeze catches their breath. From here, Marina Bay Sands rises like a sculpture. Gardens by the bay glows at dusk. The city looks soft and golden, reflected in still water. More than infrastructure, Marina Barrage is a vision of a city living with nature, shaping water into beauty, and inviting everyone to enjoy the calm. Thian Hock Keng Temple. Thian Hock Keng Temple is one of Singapore's oldest and most important Hokkien temples, a quiet marvel of craftsmanship and spiritual legacy tucked in the heart of Chinatown. Built without nails in 1839, its ornate woodwork stone lions and sweeping green-tiled roofs honor Mazu, the sea goddess. Every detail whispers of devotion, from hand-carved dragons to intricate lattice windows painted in red and gold. This is not just a religious site, it's a story carved in wood, a memory of the early Chinese immigrants who crossed oceans seeking hope. Step through its gates and the city's hum softens. You'll find incense in the air, prayers in the silence, and history in every brick. Buddha Tooth Relic Temple. In the middle of bustling Chinatown, the Buddha Tooth Relic Temple rises in crimson and gold, majestic, serene, and rich in sacred symbolism. Built in the Tang Dynasty style, this multi-tiered temple houses a sacred relic believed to be the tooth of the Buddha. Step inside and you're greeted by golden Buddhas, delicate murals, and glowing lanterns. Monks chant in the distance. Flowers bloom on altars. Climb to the rooftop to find a peaceful garden and a massive prayer wheel turning silently in the wind. Beneath the temple lies a museum of Buddhist art and scripture. Whether you're spiritual or simply seeking beauty, This temple invites quiet awe. It's a place of reflection where belief and architecture intertwine. Haw Villa. Haw Villa is Singapore's most surreal attraction, a fantastical garden where mythology, morality, and madness collide. Built in 1937 by the creators of Tiger Balm, this park is a sprawling collection of over 1,000 statues and dioramas depicting scenes from Chinese folklore, Confucian values, and Buddhist teachings. It's bizarre, fascinating, and unapologetically intense, especially the infamous 10 Courts of Hell. Dragons coil, demons leer, heroes rise. Each corner unfolds a story, a lesson, or a spectacle, equal parts strange and unforgettable. Haw Villa is more than kitsch. It's a mirror to cultural memory wrapped in technicolor. A place where legends live vividly and eternally. Kusu Island. Kusu Island, or Tortoise Island, is a peaceful retreat steeped in legend and spirituality. Located just 5.6 kilometers south of mainland Singapore, this small island is home to a Taoist temple, Malay shrines, and hundreds of tortoises living in quiet ponds. Pilgrims come each year to climb the 152 steps to the Keramat shrines, seeking blessings of wealth, health, and harmony. But beyond its sacred roots, Kusu is a sanctuary of simplicity. Palm trees sway over white sand beaches. The sea whispers gently. Picnickers, snorkelers, and daydreamers find calm beneath the sky. Kusu isn't flashy. It's soulful, a place where faith and stillness meet. Asian Civilizations Museum. Set beside the Singapore River, the Asian Civilizations Museum is a celebration of shared roots and flowing histories. Housed in a stately colonial building, it tells the story of Asia not in fragments, but in connection. Kampong Glam and Haji Lane. Kampong Glam blends the regal with the bohemian, once home to Malay royalty, now a thriving enclave of art history and street charm. At its heart stands the Sultan Mosque, crowned with a golden dome that gleams in the sun. Fort Canning Park. Canning Park is a hill steeped in legend, once the seat of ancient kings, later a British military hub, and now a green heart in Singapore's civic district. And so we leave Singapore, not as a single place, but as 1,000 quiet worlds stitched into one island. where butterflies dance in glass domes and the scent of orchids lingers in morning air, where temples glow by candlelight and skyscrapers lean gently into clouds. In Singapore, past and future shake hands. Tradition bows to innovation, and the soul of the city shines not only in what it builds, but in how it welcomes you softly, brightly, completely. Let your memories linger like a melody. Let your heart return again and again. This is not the end. This is Singapore.